this is a fantastic thing. Let's get to okay, the short recipe for that's Sunday morning. This is coming up Sunday morning. Check out your Facebook and all the other stuff, and you'll get the newspapers and the rest. And this will be something making the short recipe. All right, so let's take 2 seconds more. Too hard can easily be the expression or the attitude. Too hard can easily be your biggest, fastest dream killer. If the enemy could just get you stuck on too hard, this is too hard, that is too hard. From the time you think about it, you want to do it, that is too hard. And it's amazing where that gets people, and you just start to recoil and reverse, and you never, and somebody will say, that ain't hard now, that's easy, I could just do it, and God works with that attitude instead. All right, so they don't overcrowd up there when you have so many seats here, so people can, you can manage that properly. Okay, but none of this trap in 2019. The sure recipe for making hard miracles easy. You don't have to abandon your greatest dreams, desires, goals, or aspirations, but you can have the full manifestation. So Sunday and the rest of it is there, and God says what he means, and he means what he says, and get ready for special blessings. And when you get out of here, too hard, your children in school, that subject is too hard. I don't like that thing, I can't make that. I don't believe that I could accomplish that. You mean a scholarship? That is too hard. To go and to build a house in this time, boy, in these hard times, that's too hard to do that. And hard times and hard people and hard rocks and hard everything. Everything is hard. So when it gets so hard, you want to go at the snack it and take one on the rocks. All right. Well, that's the Sunday we have, and we'll see how God's miracle power and how the anointing and other strategies we won't let out now will make it easy. Okay? Right. So tonight we have seen the future in the past and having God's greatest at last. So we get into the word, and we're going to get seeing the future in the past. It sounds kind of, a little weirdy. How you'll see the future in the past. Sometimes we say see the future in the now. But you're taking your future and putting it in the past, and then you're getting God's greatest, God's best. And we are talking about a vision ahead. Now, the Bible says the heart of man makes the plan, and God directs his steps. So we have to make our plans, and if you have a dream ahead, you have a purpose ahead, you have some assignment to fulfill ahead, you must have a plan for it, and then you make that plan, and God will direct your step. If you don't make the plan, God has nothing to direct. Now we must make our plan according to God's plan, and that is where the interesting thing would come in, because he says the steps of a righteous man are ordered of the Lord. And when we are in his perfect will, he guides us perfectly. So when we get strategies like these and principles like these, we are able to craft and design our plans according to God's plan, according to God's will. And he will direct that to fulfill his will. So these kinds, you're seeing the future, the attitude of the heart. You see a number of times God tells people how to see. In fact, faith is how to see things. When we talk about faith is how you see it. According to your faith, so be it unto you. Without faith, it is impossible to please God. Faith is the victory that overcomes the world. And faith is the key. The just shall live by faith. But faith is essentially how you see things. We walk by faith, not by sight. And there is a sight of faith in that he says, we look not at the things that are seen, but we look at the things that are not seen. So that is faith. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. So faith produces a sight evidence of something that is not seen. And that is essentially faith. And when you see it, then you can seize it. So if we are talking faith, we are talking seeing it. And if we cannot seize it or take it until we can see it. We look not at the things that are seen, but we look at the things that are not seen. So there is something that you look at that is not seen. So the sixth eye of faith, the sixth sense of faith, and the third eye of faith causes you to see things. Moses believes seeing him who was invisible. So if you don't have that eye of faith, you can see nothing. And if you don't see, then you can have faith. Elisha could not see. Elisha could see, but Gehazi's servant couldn't see all that he had on his side. All that God had provided for him, the abundance that God had given for his victory. So he said, listen, we are going to fail, we are going to be defeated, we are going to be crushed, we are going to die at the hands of the enemy. Just because he couldn't see, he recoiled into that mode of fear, into that mode of desperation, frustration, and he had already seen his defeat before it came. So he had seen the future in the present before the future reached there in the negative, because he could not see. Then Elisha said, Lord, I laid his hands on him, blessed him like how Samuel did to Hannah. Was within Wednesday night, Rodney was talking about, when he did, as he blessed him, he opened his eyes that he may see. After he saw it, he said, wow, there is more for us than against us. His fear turned to faith. I mean, his frustration came to favor. His weakness turned to strength. Now he had the attitude of victory, and he was not seeing death, but he was seeing life. He was not seeing defeat, but he was seeing victory. That's right. And that's how you have to see it. If you're seeing victory now, you just clap your hands. You want that turnaround, you just clap your hands. You just celebrate. You may not be feeling great, but as you celebrate, you will become great. You may not have made it, but you can fake it till you make it. You can just beat that thing and beat the thing until it gets hot, you know. You don't have to beat the iron while it's hot. You can beat the iron until it's hot. And you can get it right there, clapping those things that be not as though they were, celebrating those things that be not as though they were. Elisha changed completely. His perspective changed completely. His position changed completely. His persona, his principle changed completely. We are going to win now, because I see what was already there. I could not see it. And what I saw, what I have seen, changed my entire position, my emotion, changed my direction, changed my faith. It changed everything. Now, when you look here in what we see, seeing the future in the past, God has given us some past tense principle to bring in the present and the future what we want. Take into the future and create the future. We can create the future by taking the future in the past. We can create the future by taking the future into the past. We can create the present by taking the future into the past. We can create it. We are creators. Tell somebody, I can create my future. Mean it. I can create my future. I can create my future. And you can absolutely do that. You can create your future. You can create your future by taking it into past tense. You can make it happen. You can call those things that be not as though they were, and you can make it happen. You can create your future as you want it. You can say, it is well when your son dead, and you can create him alive, because that is what you want for him in the future. You can create your future, brother. Call those things that be not. What you say you shall have. You shall have. You can create your future. Whatsoever you desire, it ain't come yet, but you desire it and you believe. And he said, if you believe, you will see the manifestation. Come on, somebody. You can create your future right now. What you want, you have the power of creation in you. And just as God spoke and the world came to pass and he created the future, you can speak your future into existence. You can declare your future into existence. You can see your future into
into existence. My God, you can command your future into existence with the word and the power of the command of faith. And if you say so is so. David said, devil, Goliath, I'm going to create your future, and I'm going to create my future. Watch out, devil, I'll create. Tell somebody you can create the devil's future. You can create the devil's future. When the devil tries to show you your future and say you'll have one foot, you'll have one eye, you'll die next year, say, devil, let me create your future for you. Let me show you your future. Because Goliath told the Israelites, I will create your future. Send me a man and I will take his head. I will feed him to the fowls of the air. And David said, let me tell you about your future, boy. He said, you come to me with swords and spears, but I come to you in the name. Somebody's seeing this thing. We're going to create the devil's future here tonight. We know his future. He is a defeated foe. He's a defeated foe. He is under our feet in defeat. We know about this thing. We're going to have our hands up. He's going to be under our feet. David said, hey boy, you come to me with swords and spears, but I come to you in the name of the Lord God of hosts, and I'm going to create your future right now. We're bringing your future in the present tense. Today, I will take your head from you, and your head go be for kobo meat. And then I going, let me tell you about my future. I would feed your flesh to the fowls of the air. You are a devourer, but I'm going to have you devoured. Have the devourer devoured. Have the devourer devoured. Have the devourer devoured. He wants to take the headship. He wants to take rulership in your life. He wants to determine when you're happy, when you're sad, when you're poor, when you're down, who afflict you, when you have a bad day, who will take your pride. He wants to be the head, but today you will take your head from him. You will take his head from him. Just like David, I will take your headship, and I will be the head. I will be the ruler. The sword of the Spirit will cut his head off. Take the word and cut his head off. Say the sword of the Spirit says, I am the head and you are the tail. I'll take that head from you, because the sword of the Spirit says, God has given me power over. Come on. Somebody just say over. Over. Over mean head. Over mean boss. The person over you in your job. Over you in your school. Come on, somebody. If you are over the devil, just give an overhead. Yeah. Create his future. Let him know his place. Put the devil in his place. Put the devil in his place. He fasts and out of place, but you make him slow and put him in his place. High five somebody and say, put the devil in his place. Put him 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 in his place. Prophesy his future. Say, by this time, so tomorrow. By this time, so tomorrow. Devil, you're going to be 10,000 miles from my life. You're going to be somewhere at the bottom of the sea. By this time, so tomorrow, my family going to be abundantly blessed. In fact, we ain't even waiting for tomorrow. We're taking it right now tonight. But just to let you know, devil, you wouldn't be back here. No welcome. When we put you out this house, you're gone for good. We lock the box. We throw in the key. For all the tricks you played on, we give the Lord a good hand for your victory over the enemy. Prophesy his future. Prophesy his future. Don't let him prophesy yours. You're going to fire from the job. You won't be able to pay your mortgage. You'll cause fracture in your family. You'll lose your property. You'll fail your exams. You'll never be able to come off drugs. That punch and rum thing will turn to cigarette, will go to a punch and rum. And the punch and rum will go to marijuana. And the marijuana will go to cocaine. And you're going to be rocking it on a different rock. Say, hey, devil, I have news for you. From tonight, I'm standing on the rock of Jesus. My victory is my victory is just a stone's throw away. This is the rock. This is the rock. I don't need your rock. I don't need your cocaine. I don't need to sniff on your smoke. I don't need to sniff on your coke. He is my fire, so I need no smoke. He is my wine, so I need no whatever. Wait, what is how it goes? He is my
No drugs.
He is what?
My wine, so I need no drugs.
He looked like he on something there now. All right, listen. Sniffing is not for me. I leave it for the dogs. Above cloud 9, the Father and I in heavenly places. So I need no high. It's Jesus for me. I'm addicted to Jesus. 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 That's the rock that I'm addicted to. It's not the white rock on the powder, but it's the rock of Israel, the rock of ages. Prophesy his future. You are not going to be the loser. You are going to be the winner. See it, because faith sees it and sees it and sees it in advance. When they were going, tell somebody, I'm addicted to Jesus. Some of you wives disappointed because you thought your husband was addicted to you. Some of you boyfriend and girlfriend, you're disappointed, but we are addicted to Jesus. We are addicted to the man. We can't leave him. We can't do it. We have to talk about him. We have to eat him. We have to sleep him. We have to dream him. We have to sing him. We have to clap him. We have to dance him. We have to celebrate him. We have to give to him our time. Give to him our substance. Give to him our talent. We just can't do. We have to do. Without him, we can do nothing. And with him, we can do all things. That's the man. Give one for Jesus. See it. God told the children of Israel, he said, concerning Jericho, which was the greatest city that they had. That's why they wall up the city in that way. Big, massive wall. Because riches were in that thing like you have never seen. All kinds of things in the city of Jericho. Riches, wealth. They had their king. They had mighty men of valor that are keeping the city, plus the fortress of the walls of the city. They had all of that. Just protecting and preserving that city alone because of what they say is okay. They could take all around. Let Joshua and his people, everybody, but not Jericho. Not Jericho. Massive, thick walls, 30 plus feet, almost 40 feet. The thing's so big, they run chariots in it. In fact, they used to run races on that wall. So thick, nobody could. It was absolutely impregnable and high. Nobody could get in there. And God told Joshua, he said, Joshua chapter 6, he said, when they're going to take the city, going to take the walls, watch this. He's going to take now the future and put it in the past. And then the future will become the present. Watch how God does it. It's a mystery of the shifting and the shuffling of fate to give the devil a headache. God knew. He can't had they known it, they would not have tried to keep us out of our inheritance. Had they known it, he would not have acted as though he is the boss, because them kind of boss they surely lost. Jesus is the boss and all of us lost. He is Lord and all of us fraud. Listen, he said, God said, watch. Look at that statement. Before they had taken the city, he said, see, I have given you Jericho. And they didn't see it yet. They didn't have it yet. He didn't have it, Jericho. And the Lord said unto Joshua, this is Joshua 6 and 2. Way down after you'll see where they actually possessed the city. But God is telling him at the beginning, he said, the Lord said unto Joshua, Just do somebody that I say just see it. Just see it. Just see it. I see some of you hiding your eyes from them people. You don't even want to watch the faith, but it's all right. You just see by faith, not by face. You just see it. Let's see it. God said we're starting by seeing it. By seeing it. He said, see. And he said, when you see, don't just see it in the now. Don't just see what happened in the past. But he said, see, I have, give me a highlight on there, have given. Have given. This is past tense, past participle. So he is putting it in past tense, meaning he is taking the future, the thing that is yet to happen, and putting it as in the past already. It happened already. Things are ready. Things are ready. Things are ready. Things are ready.
Better.
Things are ready. Things are ready.
Better.
Things are ready. Things are ready.
Better.
Come on.
Things
You are better in your health. You are better in your work.
already better.
You are better in your family. You are better in your mind. You are better. You are better. You are better. You are better in your pocket. You are better in your studies. You are better in your wisdom. You are better in your going out, in your coming in the city, in the field. Tell somebody things
Already better.
Yeah, give me once or twice.
Things already better. For the Lord is on my side. Things already better. 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 For the Lord is on my side. Things already better. 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 For the Lord is on my side. Things already better. 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 For the Lord is on my side. Things already better. Things already better. Things already better. Things already better. Things already better.
Take that, devil.
Things already better.
Take that, devil.
The Lord is on my side. Things already better. Things already better. Things already better. Things already better.
Come on, you see it. See it for your family. See it for your children. See it for your soul. Your soul. It might be in drugs. It might be in jail. It might be in foreclosure. You might
victory sign. All right is reaching. Everybody with your right hand, with your right hand, all the rights, meeting rights. Just give somebody a high five, right to right, and say, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Look, give me something here. All right. The feeling and it's working. Praise God. Glory to God. Hallelujah. You may be seated. If you feel, praise God. Praise God. Praise God. All right. Because it's in sight. As long as it's in sight, it's all right. I can see it. I can see it. So I can seize it. It's all right. All war will fall. He said, first thing, just see it and see the future. In the past, it's already finished. I have given you all things that pertain to life and godliness. He says that you don't have to fight for it, to struggle for it in frustration. You don't have to worry and die sorry for anybody committing suicide. Sunday morning is your God expose them suicide spirit. I got your marvelous email on Saturday night somewhere there. I was looking to see if you have any dollar signs anyway. I didn't see it, so I said, I'll pray for you and reply to you another day. And listen, the Lord dealt with those spirits, and we just call that thing, the Lord just said spirit, suicide, in the whole magnificent prophecy. You should get the record of that, because we were analyzing some of the things, looking at what was said in our leadership meeting, and boy, that is, ask the leaders. Don't believe just because the Lord used me to do it, I'm exaggerating. Ask them about that thing. Man, you saw what God said and how he structured that thing in such power, such precision, and dismantled those people who were coming to church suicidal. One woman said she came to church talking about dying. Came to church, left home, crying, and came to church crying and saying she don't want to live. It didn't make no sense. But she don't know why she in church. If it didn't make no sense, why am I here? And she's crying in church and saying it makes sense that she lived. Crying on the microphone, telling us here. Another guy, and he's so young, sprightly, and I mean, he's looking like a star. And I'm telling him, I'm saying, but you look like this. You are suicide? He was in the hospital the night before, Saturday night, in a suicidal state, far depressed.
in the worst way, and somebody spoke to him, I think in the hospital or somewhere, and said, go down to church, to Miracle Ministry, and he came here the morning, he set up himself for the suicide already, and the line of people we saw, and God just moved right into those situations, turned them around, and mash up all them devils. Those people are here tonight. They were here on Wednesday night, just praising the Lord. One in the back there, the young man is somewhere across there. Listen, and Wednesday night when they come up, oh God, devil is like coming up and saying, devil, take that, devil, take that. A black eye for you, you old devil. God just turned. No, if you are suicidal, you're wasting your time, because God has already given you the city. He already given you. He knows exactly. He has given you the Jericho, the walls that were keeping you out of your best. God calls that He has given us all things that pertain to life and godliness. He has given us by His divine power. The devil may come with his deceptive power, but God comes with His divine power, and the divine makes it fine, right on time, in the paradigm. My God, give him something tonight that pertains to life and godliness. And it mashed up the entire spirit. And we got, you see, He has made it already. It's past tense. See, He has given it to you. He has given it to you. And prophecy causes you to see. And we'll do more of that, the Lord's willing, on Wednesday coming. The eye of prophesy. And prophecy to see, and you will see what that. But when God brings these prophecy and these prophet, I said on Sunday morning, I mean, it was like this. God was just showing the thing. It was like we were in a different world, and I'm seeing the word that I called here, the name of the peas. Len, whatever, we all know, so I don't want to say online, and on live stream. And you know what I called her? And he looking like, where? Pastor, like he hungry. He looking for something to eat. What are you calling that peace for? And listen, man, and look at that move. And the person came and said, that's the code name of a major drug operation. And we had to deal with that. Not that we're against anybody, want to cast them, but the whole spirit behind it. And make a move in the spirit world and dismantle that thing. Then the Lord called the place out solid that. I mean, after Sunday morning, so many things happened. There's one sister who came and she said, when I see what happened here today, I am doing something. I am dedicating, I get paid by the week or by the fortnight or something. She said, I am dedicating my pay every month for at least the years, for the rest of the year. I'm dedicating 1 week or 1 fortnight, whatever it was, for the ministry. She said, what I see happen here today, and she's in church quite a while, but she said, what I see happen here today, last Sunday, she said, I can't stay without doing something special. And she said, at least for a year or until I feel to stop after that. I said, talk again. Let me play back Sunday. I want to send a tape for you. I want you to put it on rewind. And I want you to watch it again, again, and again. By the time you finish what you give the whole month, by the time you finish the whole year. And we had the Lord calling that thing out by name. What happened this Saturday? What was going on now? That guy on the run, the murderer, was on the run. So you don't know who he was going to kill, because the father died, the mother in the hospital in a serious condition. And God called the actual name out, called the hospital that they were in. One sister heard it, who had come here crying and believing God for it, started to run all over the place. Because God, and I was seeing this thing. I saw Soledad written here, and then it moved, and then it was here. And that's why I'm calling it over and over. And I'm saying it again and again. And then the other word, the peace word, well, in your humanity, that would really confuse you. But when you're up in the spirit, you just said it. And then I said there is somebody who went to, and God was just taking these things and taking the present and taking the past, shifting them around and giving taking the future, bringing it in the past as though it has already happened. I fixed this thing already. Don't worry about tomorrow. Don't worry if you will be killed. Don't worry if the bandits will come back, if the person will die in hospital. I fix it already. That's what you're thinking about the future. But bring it here. It has already happened. By whose stripes we were healed. We were healed, the Bible said. He has
redeemed as past tense from the curse of the law. I moved around here and I said, seen somebody in a lawyer's office. You're outside of the office. I'm seeing a car. You have gone upstairs and there is a person in the car. You went to the lawyer and they said, we have to dot the I's. We have to cross the T's. We have to do so. We have to do, and you have a shift. Somebody made a commitment and to you as in that transaction, and now the person has pulled back, but God is saying, I will still do it. And we have two people walk up here, one family. I don't know if they want to say it openly, but most of the leaders know because testified in the leaders meeting. And the guy came up and he said, the lawyer called me exactly as you said. And he said, we were sharing it in the leaders meeting after on Sunday evening, exactly as you said. And he said, it was a female lawyer. I said, the lawyer called me and she said, Mr. So-and-so, we have to dot the I's and cross the T's right now. This is what we are doing. And she said it twice because of the nitty-gritties that they were going through, and there was a challenging situation. He said, I parked the car. There was a co-worker in the car, and the co-worker said, you want me to leave or you want me to go? And he said, no, wait for me. I'm coming back just now. And went up to the office the same way. There was somebody who said they were going to assist with the money that they were getting from the bank. He said, I see Scotiabank. He said, it is Scotiabank. He said, and this person called just a week before and said, I cannot do it again. I went into another investment, so I don't know when I could help you again. And the entire thing, God just give it blow by blow down to dotting I's and crossing T's. When God ready to do it, brother, he will dot the I's and he will cross the T's. He leaving nothing for the enemy. He making it sure who the Son sets free, 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 who the Son sets free is free, is free. Glory! Just look at 2-3 people around you and say, free indeed! Free indeed. Praise God. See, I have given you the city. See, I have given you Jericho. He said, I've given you all of Jericho. And he said, not only giving you Jericho, but he said, see, I have given you the king. The king, watch. Into thine hand I have given Jericho, all of Jericho in my hand. My Lord, I have bigger hands than Incredible Hulk. I want this Jericho. Man, put it all in here. Put it all. They could just give me the bank in Jericho and keep the rest. And he said, I put it in your hands. In your hands. You have it, hold it, feel it. So you see it, and then you seize it. He said, see it, and then you seize it. It's in your hand. It's in your hand. It's within your reach. It's right there. See it and seize it. You just say, I have it. Hold that hand and just say, I have it, and see what you want. In some case, it might be who you want. In some case, it might be who you want to kill, who you want to choke. I don't know you. That's up to you and God. But you just see it and seize it. It's in my hand already. Jericho is still standing. All the walls are still up. Those people are still, the devil is still feeling on the inside there. They could do what they want. I lock down this, and they will never get healed. They'll never get their house. They will never get their land. Never get their child back. Never get their joy back. I lock it down. I have the stronghold because I am the strong man. But God is outside saying, while he thinking he's a strong man, it's already in your hand. While he thinking he's the strong man, it's already in your hand. I don't care how bad it look and whose hands it is in, and who trying to take your land from you, and who trying to take your house from you, who trying to take your job from you. I want to tell you, when they think they have the stronghold, God is in control. When they think they have the stronghold, God is in control. Tell the devil, you have lost control. You run off the road. God is still on the throne, and he is still in control. What do you think you are, the strong man? I have it in my hand. It's to have and to hold. He has already given me the victory. It's in my possession, and I have it all. I see it and I seize it. Somebody take that hand and high five somebody's hand and say, hand to hand, we defeat the strong man. Hand to hand, we defeat the strong man. If two shall agree. Woo! Whoa, 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 whoa. I wonder if we still have a devil anywhere around. And that devil is either he must be getting a heart attack or palpitations now, or maybe he gets sick. I don't know. Listen, with all this pressure, something with that devil. Listen, no matter how fortified the devil may think, how secure he thinks that he still had that thing, God will penetrate. You see God penetrating day after day, night after night, morning after morning. The devil feels that he has people locked down, and God is just coming in and dismantling and saying, look, there was something buried there. That one did that for your child. This is why you've been suffering and failing for years. But today, you have it broken. If he tried to hide like a snake, God bring the snake up here, and we kill the snake. We mash up them spiders. We're taking out the needles from people's body. We're taking out the horseshoe. We're mashing up the crosses. We're going into the cemetery from here, and we're seeing the rituals by the sea. We're seeing it in fishermen boat. We're seeing things that people do, and they drop far off into the sea. You're seeing things from generations that they make sacrifices and put down for people, and we're bringing it right up to the minute to just the night before. This woman here, and I said, what's your name? She come out here for the first time a couple months ago, a Sunday morning, and when she walk in the place strange, and she don't know who is what. Somebody asked her name somewhere around. She told them some name. She told them Leela or something, and she just sat down there. But when she came up here before me, I said, who is whatever the name was? And I called her name. I think it's Raji or something like that. Was it that? And she said, that's me. I said, somebody want to kill you. They put something in food, and they want to destroy you and damage your body. And she said, oh my God, that happened last night. She said, the neighbor gave me food, and there was soap in it, and some kind of whatever in it. She said, I vomit, plaster in it. And she said, I vomit all night. And look, I come out here, and this morning, and I just believe the devil tried to kill her the night before. But God said, listen, we're going into your camp, and we're going to root it out. You believe you're a strong man. You believe you'll get it this time. You believe you'll never be able to get over. But we will tumble you over, and we will take over, because we have the power over all the powers of the enemy. We have the power to turn him over, turn him upside down, turn him over and take over, turn him over and take over, turn him over and take over. Put him head for tail, because he already failed. Put him head for tail, because he already failed. Turn him upside down and reign with Jesus' crown. Somebody give him another hand. Glory to God. Hallelujah. The young lady came from Moruga, and she is stressed out, and the Lord began to call all kinds of situation out of her life, and she's standing here first time. 2 children that the weekend, the whole place flood out all over Trinidad. People they're scared to leave from their very house to step outside because of flood. They afraid to go from the front yard to the backyard. They can't come out. She left Moruga and came up the road with her 2 children in her hand, and the active children and all that. And God called and began to say, this happened to you. There is somebody who is attacking your life. They have set this up for you. They have done this to destroy you. You are sad. You are grieving. There is this ritual and this one day, and begin to describe some of the people and where they live and all around. She said, Pastor, it is bad. In the whole church, it is really bad. She said, it's terrible. In fact, they watch me to my face and say, you could never make it because we make you too weak. You can't stand. And she said, I watch them back and I say, I'm not weak anymore because I'm going up to Miracle Ministries. Come on. We had it right here. Tape, run on radio, run on television. She might be here somewhere. Sometimes she comes in the night. She stays in Shotgunners to make sure that she is here for the night services and taxis from Moruga here in the morning. Listen, when God comes, no matter how much that devil feel that he has it locked down. What happened? She was locked down. She was weak. They open on every side. She can't take it. They're taking her property in front of her eyes. Mash up she and the husband. All kinds of things. Taking the children. But the children, like sometimes they're going out of their mind. But somehow, right there, God still give her the strength. In the middle of that, she said, I see Pastor Coffee on TV. And from Moruga, I ain't weak anymore because I'm going up to Miracle Ministries. Because God has a miracle. He has a miracle to turn your misery to the maximum. And God didn't disappoint her. He mashed up the devil. He freed her. He set her free. He took the gold flowers from here, rested on her. We sprayed perfume and messed out that nasty, stinking thing, whatever the devil may have done in the unseen world upon her. That was the first time we ever did anything like that. The girl came back the next day, and Sister Zora met her somewhere taking names and said, what is your name? Because they're taking first timers today for something. And when she she said, I am not here for the first time. I'm the girl who came last week. Sister Zora said, you and Sister Zora is a bright, intelligent, sharp person, observant. She said, I don't think you are the same person. And when you look at her, she absolutely transformed in 1 week. She looked spare, she looked clear, she looked all them dark thing all over her body. She looked like a brand new person, youthful, children, everything calm. When she came a couple of services afterwards, pastor's appreciation, she took the pastor's appreciation oil, the prophetic oil that we had, and she gone back. And she said, spray this thing on whatever you have the worst trouble with. She took the marriage ring. The husband left and he said, I don't want to see you. I don't want to see your picture. I don't want to see you in my mind. I don't want to see you in my dream. If I see you in my dream, I ain't sleeping again for life. I don't want to see you. I don't want to hear you. I don't want to smell you. I don't want nothing. She said, okay. And she took the ring. What he did, he left, but he forget the ring. When you leaving, men, run with your ring. All right, run with your ring, because they have a thing to fix the thing. Okay, so he put it on the ring, and all of a sudden she hear a telephone ring. You see, and this ring was a different ring, and he said, darling, honey, how you going? Sugar plum, rose. Oh my, I don't know what to do. Where you are now? I can't sleep, I can't walk, I can't talk. My liver jumping, my heart popping, and my lungs swelling. Oh God, my lip dry and my eyes bulging. I just want to touch you, honey. Where you are, sugar plum? They write all that he said for me. What you going to say? What to tell you? He turned a new man. All right, that's what you're doing, man. Man, listen, the man, serious, we testify here. They came up here for prayer all the time, testify openly. She said, he turned right around and he said, listen, let's make backup. This thing could work. We can work this out. What happened in the past? What happened in the thing? He can't remember nothing. Because you see, she began to see now. When we broke those strongholds, she saw the restoration. She began to see the way to break the enemy's power and to bring whatever that the enemy tried to do and to lock down, break the strongholds, knock down those Jericho walls. And I want to run it on a little bit here, rush it down a bit, but you have to be able to see beyond walls. That's what the Jericho thing was about. See beyond the walls. Because what the devil will do, he'll set walls before your eyes. And he said, walls of impossibility. It's impossible. It can't be done. So walls of death, you're going to die just now. What you're going to get, you're going to do what you're going to do. You're not making this thing. Walls of low self-esteem. Walls of iniquity. Walls of curses, generational curses. He put walls. But God was telling him, see beyond the walls and see the city. See the city. Don't see the walls. Don't see the blocks. don't see the barriers. David said, I'll run through the troop and I'll leap over the wall. There are certain things you could run through and some you can't run through. Because he said, I can't run through the wall, but I could still get beyond the wall. I'll leap over the wall. So I run through, I'll jump through, but the thing is, I'm getting what I come for and I'm getting what I desire. See beyond the walls. What's the wall in your way? What's the wall before your eye? See beyond the walls. See beyond the wall. The impossible. The too hard thing. See beyond it. See beyond the walls. See beyond the barriers. And the walls that are set before you, telling you this is, you can't get beyond here anymore. I mean, they said that nobody will never get a school in the country, a school, a Pentecostal school, and all the denomination, and the foreign people came, and from America, the Canadian people came who set up churches here, Pentecostal churches. They set up, people came from Israel and set up churches, tons of people from America, all over, and they came up, and most denominations, they have the headquarters, all these full gospel and Pentecostal thing, they have the headquarters in the United States, and they come, they finance, they did all build churches all over the country. You see Pentecostal, all the different denominations all over, you know, evangelical, whatever, everybody all over, and they said, this thing can happen. Boy, you're not in the concordat, you know, you don't even think about that because you're not in the concordat. The concordat is what caters for church schools, for funding for church school and partnering with the government. You're not there. Big wall, they had a wall called the concordat, and that was that. But when we came on the scene, we said, we are seeing our school, and we are seeing it built, and we are seeing success, and I'm seeing my children in the school, and I'm seeing the success of other students, and we are seeing ourselves in making national prominence, and we are seeing the development of the student, and God give the vision to see, and see beyond that wall, and I see that thing, and I ain't see no wall. Anybody said it can't be done, that wall for, I ain't see no wall. I see the school, and that's why at the school too, we ain't even have walls around. I put chain link wire. Because I ain't see no walls whatsoever. I'm seeing the school, seeing the students. The concordat's still there. The wall, it's supposed to be still there. But my God, everything fall. The school is there. The success is there. The power, the glory is there. Christ is receiving every single moment. Let me tell you something. You can see it. They can see it. I see myself dying, and the devil said, you were dying, you'll never make it. This is the end of your life, the end of your schooling, the end of your education. Show me my school friends coming and watching me in the casket. I saw them face by face. I could call their name. I saw them going around. The devil could give you something to see. I pushed that thing aside and then saw myself going back to school, completing my education, being a school teacher, and later on I started to see myself preaching, and I said my friends would be surprised to hear me preacher because they didn't think this coffee could be anything like preacher. And I saw church, I saw this arch. God is my witness. This kind of design that we have here now. And we had the first church with a little square thing, 20 by 20. The second one was rectangular, and the third one rectangular. But I knew that was not it. Well, that was part of it because I saw this just after I saw this setting, and I saw this kind of arrangement. I saw myself preaching. I knew that I was going to make an impact somewhere, somehow. I wasn't sure where it was going to be, but I saw beyond the boundaries of that little cane field boy, barefooted, locked down with my mother's 17 children, 12, 13 at a time in one house, living in there in a little house, a little thing 20 by 20, and you hardly have food to eat. You could hardly get anything that you desire, but right there saying, God, I am seeing beyond this thing. Are we going to take this thing as far as it could go and watch beyond all walls of poverty, walls of hereditary, walls of disadvantage, walls of impossibility, negativity? Don't watch beyond, see beyond the walls. He said, see, I have given you the city. Watch beyond the walls and see what is behind the walls already in your hand. Already in your hand. And when you come to the prophet, he said, don't come to your prophet empty-handed. You come with your vow, you come with your seed, and come with that too. Tonight, when you come here, you come with them thing. Come with your Jericho in your hand. Say, your seed representing your Jericho, and see say, I have it in my hand already. And we go just agree and bless that thing on your hand. And you want it. You want the husband, say, Pastor, the man in my hand right now. If there's woman, say, Pastor, the woman in my hand right now. Some of you are going to say woman. Some of you are going to say man. I don't know. Anyway, but you just put that thing, see it in your hand. See it and seize it. When Sian used to say in a motivational speeches, what? Visualize. Visualize to actualize. And she would tell these people all over your head on television, all over the place. She would say, see the celebration. You ain't passed yet. You're still in Form 1. You're still in prime. But see the celebration. See the thing. She said, see your name in the newspaper. See yourself on billboards. All them things that we're having now. She used to be talking to people and telling them those things. And saying, see it, see it, see it. And see and hear the celebration. Hear them. See it. And you see it and seize it. There was some, he said, you see that I have already given you. Some people, you don't get a job and so on. You don't get whatever you want. You don't get the success. You don't get the souls won. You don't get the family saved. You don't get what? Because the enemy will be showing you something else. You will never get it. It will never work out. This is too difficult. Change that channel. Switch. Get your remote and change to God channel. Change to see coffee. You know, many people seeing coffee and they come in. You see coffee tonight. See coffee. You might get so caught up with coffee that you can't even hear what he's saying. But it's all right. God will help you to get over that. I know how beauty impacts people. And anyway, but apart from that, listen. See it tonight. See the other side. Hear the other side. Forget the devil and his foolishness and visualize to actualize. See the thing happening. See what you desire, whatsoever. Stop seeing death. Well, you know, and I got dead. I come in and one guy came and he said, Pastor, I come to discuss death with you. Serious. Serious. He come, if Sister Fernando was here, I'll tell you. That was years, about 20 years before when Fernando passed. He said, I'll come and I'll bring my family and I'll come to discuss death. And he said, I know I wouldn't make it for long. And I said, death? He said, Pastor, you know, let me face it. He said, you young and thing, you wouldn't know about this. But he said, people like us, he said, we had to think about it. And let me face it now, we got dead. I said, hey, you ain't going to death. His wife watching me, because like they discuss all of that before he came. I said, well, let me discuss life. I said, you a man pay your tithes. You know how much tithes I gonna miss if you dead? So what we talk about dead? You can't talk about that now. People who pay their tithes, they are dead. Many of you quiet because you feel you were dead tonight. Listen. I said, you can't dead. The man was living for 20 more years, and when he lived, he called me right through, and he didn't have a problem. And I said, you ain't going to die. Don't come over. You see life. He turned the whole thing around. Before he left, we were talking about all kind of lies and plans for his, Huh? Oh, yes. And he saw the child and grandchild, and saw the grandchild resurrect from the dead, and the whole thing. And he stood in the gap. With the title. Look at that. Well, you worse than me, boy. Chinese worse than Douglas. Tell people Chinese worse than Douglas. You know that scripture? Anyway, and look at that. And use the same tithe. If I did say you're dead, because his wife used his tithe, she was working, was their tithe inside there. And if I say go on dead now, what would have happened to that tithe? Tell the person next to you, make sure you give coffee your tithe tonight. And it's the tithe we use when his baby was dead in the womb on Friday evening. And it's there we run it repeatedly on television and San Fernando Hospital. And when we prayed that and we prayed, the next morning the child was alive and well. And the child must be about 8, 10 years or whatever it was. Whatever it is, healthy, strong, happy. God has a purpose to keep you alive. He has a purpose. You have to live because you have something to do. You have many things to do. People need you. God needs you. The future needs you. And don't see no death in the future. See life and see you prospering, and you will prosper more in your good day, in your older days than your younger days. God said you will blossom and bring forth abundance of fruit, because the devil shows some things to some people sometimes are sharp. Listen, you just get it out of the way and live and live and live and live. Husbands, tell your wife, forget the insurance, I'm going to be around for a long time. Forget the insurance, I'm going to be around for a long time. You don't go get that insurance. You ain't getting that insurance in a hurry. Let it stay there, work on interest while I'm alive. See it. You see it. See beyond the walls. See the city. He said, and we wrap up here, quick. He said, I give you the city. I give you that's Jericho. I give you the king. That's the royalty and the ruler of the city. Nobody ain't taking the city. So you're taking the city and there is nothing to fight you back for it. You're taking the king one time. Because when you take out them king, you know, they'll come back and form an next army, come back for it. I'm taking out everything. And I'm giving you the royalty in the city. I'm not giving you the city, but I'm also giving you the palace there. I'm giving you the high place, the best place. Not just you're going to have success, but you're going to have the best success. You're going to have the greatest success. You're going to go for it. We had the former president, His Excellency, Kumar, 2 days ago in school. You would have seen it on the newspaper and so on TV. And he said, and this is on record, talking on the microphone and so on, and he said, watch this school and what she has done. He said, I know Pastor Coffey. I read his articles. I know he's a man of character. He's no yes man. I know his thing, and they read everything. He knows about the church. You know, when he watched the school, he walked into the auditorium. He said, but this is just like the church. The theme and everything is just like the church. You have everything the same color. And he knows everything. He said, and I watched the school. He said, I listen to you. I follow your reading. Your articles and so on. And he said, it's a man of character. And he said, look at this school and look at the children in this school. He said, watch the daughters. He know all of them. He called out all of their names. And he said, look, Candle, and he talked all about Candle. He said, look, the doctor there, and he talked about the doctor. He talked about the lawyer, and he's a judge and a legal background. He said, why don't you go into this, and you could go into that, talk about all of them and their achievement. And he said, look what happened. You came from down here, right here. And he said, Pastor Coffey, look how many attacks have come against you in all kinds of ways. But look at your children and your family. And he said, look at the people from the school. They dare to look beyond Trinidad and beyond thing and look to the world. And he called it out and he said, Candle, look at her. And she topped the world and she hit first place. And all of them, world first university, ranked university, top number 1 in the world. Harvard and Cambridge and London and all of them. And he knows everything. And he said, look at them tops. Not only there, but tops. All excellent. All, what is called, all distinction. Everywhere you can look beyond and achieve it, brother. And all of them and their families and everybody being inspired at the same time. I'm telling you, look beyond the walls. Look beyond the walls. Look beyond the walls. He told Vicky, talking to her, and he said, listen, where you are? You're in Trinidad, or you're studying abroad, or you're going to work abroad? You're going to, what you all? And he's kind of saying, well, like Trinidad too small for you all, you know, in that kind of way, because you're taking the world. And I tell you, watch, it doesn't matter where you are. See the thing and see it in your hand, because you can put it down and you will have kings honoring you. You'll have prime ministers. You'll have presidents. Everybody following you step by step and taking signal lessons and lessons from your life for their own life, and being open about it too. Open about it. And they are blessing. They're tremendous. He's one of the most brilliant men, I believe, alive today. And I could tell anybody that. One of the most brilliant and resourceful men. Wow. He came there to spend 1 hour. He spent 3.5 hours. And only talking. Aidan, all these guys were recording and so on. You're fascinated. You're spellbound. It's just amazing. And he just stayed there. And we had, what do they call it? Dinner? I don't know what it was. I just stayed there. All the folks around him, they said, we have never seen the president spend such time in anywhere. Sister Hayat Ali came up. She said, Faria said it was just 1 hour in naps, and he way off. And this one, he went to this one and just run off of them school. Presentation, 3.5 hours. 3.5 hours. And you see them walking in and so on. These lawyers always spying somewhere. But just glowing. I mean, just amazing. And it's just a story after story and a whole amazing evening. And when we walk out there, a guy who was there hosting the function, a big guy, he was on the newspaper with us yesterday. You see all of our pictures there. And he said, and on television as well, for 2 nights straight, I think. And he said, today, he said, Pastor, I am going home. And my wife, he said, you see what happened today?
will never be forgotten. And he said, you chatting with that president. And we brought out some things from him. I know him so long. We had a host of this environmental program, whatever. And he said, I've never seen or heard those things from the president. And he said, you have pulled something out of him today that I never knew and I never saw. And it's just like a fountain flowing. 3.5 hours instead of 1 hour. That's what I'm telling you. Right there. Huh? And look, she is prophesying that you will get sick. And and the respect for God. And that's why they respect you. When you take your stand as a servant of the Lord and you do your stuff. And look at right there. Look at all of us there. And you see all the pictures and the rest of it. And a little dusty on the side there because that's the little jealous corner from the studio. That is just jealous. And you have all the names and the rest of it there. You have, who's that? Victorina, Wincia, and Candel, the president, myself. That's Mr. Balde was saying, that's the guy you're talking about, and that's an international guy on the side there who is supporting them. And we have the whole, and the school children, the magnificent school. And what happened? They have 16 schools in the country, top schools that won this major thing that they had. And we were one of them. And one of the schools. And we did particularly well. You would not have seen the other schools or so on the news for whatever one reason or not that we're better than anybody else. But we were there. And he said, listen, this is amazing what you continue to do. And all of them, the Prime Minister will walk in, we walk to the Attorney General, we walk, anyway. And they just know, and they know everything about everybody and what is happening. You meet people abroad, and they know. I walk in this place in the universities abroad, and this woman walks up. She said, wow, yes, I know you. I saw your picture. And she said, you have an intellectual family down there. You have a brilliant family, and you're on the news, and you're all over. And just think, I don't know if you were there. I think Candle was there. I was telling her, take some recording and whatever, and from some forensic somewhere. Listen, but I just want to tell you, again, as we wrap up here, you may see it. See it, seize it, see beyond the walls, see beyond the boundary, see it in your hand, for the Lord has given you. And before they actually had the city, he said, go around 7 times, 1 time each day. And then on the 7th day for 6 days. And on the 7th day, go around 7 times on the 7th day. Listen, you have to be prepared to do what it takes. And if it takes sacrifice, you make the sacrifice. You do what you have to do. And like Jehoshaphat, he said, our eyes are upon the Lord, but he wasn't seeing anything. And after he went to fast, he saw. His eyes were open. He said, Lord, we don't know what to do with this army. Our eyes upon you, and that's all. Our eyes upon you. You can't see nothing. After they fasted for 3 days, the Lord opened his eyes, and he said, no need to fight in this battle. You just go down. The enemy is camped at the cliff of Ziz. He showed them where the enemy was. He showed them how to devour the enemy, and he told him to do a similar thing that he told Joshua. He said, Joshua, Jehoshaphat, go down, get your singers, and let them sing praises. He told Joshua, it's a march around. And on the 7th day, hear what he said. The wall's still up. God is a past tense God. He will future for past tense. He said, shout, for the Lord has given you the city. God told him, I have given you the city. See it. And then Joshua spoke the same language of God. And he told the people, the wall's still up. They're going to blow the trumpet. It ain't fall yet. And he said, shout in advance, for the Lord has given you the city already. You shout because, watch it there. Watch it. Wait, why don't people go on? Oh, yes, look at it. And it came to pass at the 7th time when the priest blew with the trumpet, Joshua said unto the people, shout, for the Lord, look, he's using the same language as the Lord in the same tense, hath given you the city. God says, see, I have given you the city. And then Joshua said, shout, for the Lord has given you the city. And the wall's still up. And when they shout, taking the future as past tense, the wall fell down. They walk in and took possession of the city. Come on, somebody. Shout, I have it. Shout, the Lord had given me the city, the royalty. Say, I see
I see my city. I see my city. I see beyond the boundary. I see beyond the boundary. Therefore, I will have the extraordinary. And I'll say it a little faster. I see beyond the boundary. So I will have the extraordinary. I see beyond the boundary. So I will have the extraordinary. I see beyond the boundary. So I will have the extraordinary. Give him a good one more time.
See it and seize it. If you can see beyond the boundary, you'll have the extraordinary. Say this one. Tell somebody, you're going to seriously wrap up now, because I see the envelope next to me. You have to see it, right? We don't have it there, but you just see it. And see all the blues that you put inside there. And you can see your stuff in advance and do it in advance. Look, you right here. This handsome, goodly, faithful, blessed guy right here. You know as you are talking about still, right? Okay. Anyway, but last week Friday, he and his precious wife came and he paid his tithes. He said something during the Wednesday I was teaching on something, and he said, I had some tithes then, it's just kind of like delaying because, deal with foreign stuff. He said, you know what, I'm going to make sure I'm going to pay that thing Friday. And there was some money that came in, some that had to come in, but it didn't come in as yet. And he said, you know what, I will pay that tithes and I'm paying the one in advance. And he paid it Friday night. We prayed here, and he went home. 1 o'clock Saturday morning, well, they left service here and went home, sleeping. And this is into Saturday morning, around 1 o'clock, he said he started a dream. And he dreamt that I called him. And I called him, where it was? In the office or somewhere? Oh. On the pulpit. Oh, right. And he said, on the pulpit. And I passed everyone, to pray for everyone, whatever, and I said, stand on the side. And then I called him aside, and I said, open your mouth. And I started to drop something green, a green substance in his mouth. When I hear green, nobody had to tell me what's that. Of course, we are talking about us. Us and green, Yes, man. Unlimited supply. U.S. Unlimited supply. Remember, U.S. means, that's coffee version, right? And he said, I told him about speaking about money again and speaking about money more, something like that. Only thing, money, that was in the dream. And you think about Solomon, when he gave the sacrifice, and the Bible said the same night, God visited Solomon in a dream. And what he did, he was paying tithes all the time, but this time he paid with tithes and with some in advance. So the money that's to come in the future, he brought the tithes in the present. It ain't come yet, but he already paid. And he just said he just felt to do that. You were fasting, you had a regular fast going, and the Lord told him, just do that. And the Lord said, drop money. And he caused me to put that green, so that must happen. And when there's money, that must happen. Tell somebody, coffee in green means money. Coffee in Greek means money. Coffee in Greek, in Latin, in French, in Patois, and in tongues, Chinese, everything. I'm giving somebody something to talk about now. Listen, and he had that dream the same night. And you know what God had been doing with their business and the world dominance kind of thing. And God just brought, that happened last week, Friday night into Saturday morning. So take this one. Say, I look beyond the walls. I look beyond the wall. I look beyond the wall and take it all. I look
beyond the wall. I see beyond the wall. And I take it all. I take it all. I take it all. I take it all. Listen. Look, act in the future. Act in the present as you already have it. Act as though it's already there. Believe as though it's already there. See it as though it's already there. Talk it as though, and behave in your giving, in your service to the Lord. Some people say, I ain't seen nothing happening in my life. I go into church so long. I giving so long. I fasting so long. Well, that's why if you have that attitude of not seeing, you never see. But if you say, listen, I am going and I will see. And if I didn't see it now, it's coming bigger next tomorrow. And it's coming better tomorrow. And it's coming better tomorrow. Open this eye. Get your anointing. You must see something. The seed becomes seen in 2019. The seed becomes seen in 2019. It gonna happen this year, in the same year, 100 fold, 100%, God bringing it to pass. You dare. He said, believe and you will see. Believe what you hear tonight. Believe what the word said tonight. Believe and you will see. Believe and you will see. Believe and you will see. You see it? See what the Lord says. You're going to see. And you will have it right here, right now, tonight. And believe God for what he has shown you. And when we're going to have the envelopes and so on given, and I want you to see, when you put it, this is my seed here tonight. You're going to see and seize. And he said, shout, and we're going to make the declarations in a while. They went around, that shouting was like their declaration, their praise. Shout, for the Lord has given you the city. And there are sometimes you just have to shout. You either shout or you do it out. If you know what I mean, sometimes you just have to shout it out. Just outshout the devil. Sometimes in your spirit, sometimes in your mind, sometimes because you know the devil could real shout. He could real shout in your spirit. He could real shout in your heart. And just shout him out. Okay? Now, get that thing. Your seed, put your seed in, and tonight we're going to believe God for breakthroughs and for miracles, for anointings, for blessings coming through and moving through your heart, your life, your spirit, everything in your home, your family, and we watch God's power break through for you. I'm seeing somebody, the devil. Yes, you can give the envelopes. We have this seed on Friday nights, and Friday, Wednesday, and it's not compulsory, but people sow seed anyhow. So we give it a target and we give them a guideline to sow the seed properly on their soil. Some people put their tithes in, whatever it may be, and just see it, seize it, and do it. All right? Now, you put your when you do what you do, just see and shout is like declare. We'll do that in a short while. There is somebody who had some insecurity. Why do you get at that? I'll just highlight some things coming before me. In your tummy, and there is an activity like some kind of demonic oppression in your belly, witchcraft attack in your tummy. There is another guy, I'm seeing this person, it looks like a male. There is also, I see like a female coming, moving, and going back and forth. So there might be male and female in this. And you're feeling to shout. Something holds you, locks you down in your dream. It has happened a few times. One time, very scary. Like this thing is holding you down in your sleep and trying to shut you up, trying to squeeze you. You get attacks on your health, attacks on your body. You're getting fear of death or dying or something seriously happening to you again and again. And you have these dreams a couple times about things attacking you in your dream. You want to call, you want to get somebody, and you cannot shout, you cannot scream, you cannot come out of it, and it's scary. It happened repeatedly, and there are attacks on your health. And the Lord wants to remove that thing and set you free. There's somebody who left a piece of property for a while. It seems as though you're not living there, or it's not that's something that you see all the time. And when you came back, you saw some things on the property that was not, you didn't authorize. And you said, but how is that? Why are they doing that? But there is an attack there that it's as though you could hardly do anything about it. A barrier is set up. And no matter what you try, it's like it's bouncing a wall. It's not reaching anywhere. This is the power of God is present to remove those things completely and entirely tonight. And believe God. You had a fantastic testimony with our sister on Sunday morning and the child.
child, and a mom there, a dad, all of them tonight. Magnificent testimony. And we were talking about yours, Alicia, and these children. And I'm seeing children again, 3 children in one family, and all of them have similar attacks upon them. One's trying to fight it, and I'm seeing a grandparent saying this one will be different with one of them, but 3 of them, different attacks going back and forth. And the Lord would want to remove that from the 3 children, the symptoms and their health. And I hear one like Cherise, a name Cherise. This is coming up, somebody in the family, or that's one of the children. But I'm hearing that Cherise. While I'm seeing these children, I'm also hearing Cherise. Sometimes it could be somebody who is seated close to the person, or so, you know, or where you might be seated right now, or it might be a member of the family. But I'm hearing something like Cherise, Cherise, and whoever that name is, we want to pray for you. I'm also seeing Duncan Village. And if you're here from Duncan Village, you have any interest, there is something with Duncan Village, but I'm seeing Duncan Village. And the Lord is saying, lift Duncan Village, pray Duncan Village. And I'm also seeing a visit that was not too long ago, or not to the distant future, will be in Duncan Village. And I'm seeing a gate, I'm seeing fence by the gate, and I'm hearing somebody saying, should we go or should we wait? I'm calling and I'm not hearing people answering. And whatever that means, you will know in it. I'm also seeing something like a shop or a parlor kind of setup, not too far off. And, well, you would know what that means, and but so we just give you that guideline and pray about it. I'm also seeing somebody, we dealt with something on Sunday, but I'm seeing somebody selling marijuana. You're wrapping up the marijuana. They're keeping it in something like a store. And there is a little guy who brings the marijuana and takes it back. I'm seeing a lady behind it. The lady has some kind of like thing with her teeth, like something with the teeth, missing teeth or broken or something, and influencing part of it. This guy is bringing the thing and they're putting it, and it's a kit, like a food kit kind of thing. There is something like a sticker on the kit, and the sticker on top of the kit. There is a broken kind of little handle on the side of the kit, something like a broken crack handle on the side. And they are taking it and locking it down in the thing. Sometimes they have it underneath, and I'm seeing something like the skin of fruit, so I don't know what that is inside there. And also, well, you have some money sometimes on it. And I'm seeing the stall here. There is like an extension on the stall, and it is there. This person, somebody interfered with that, this same little boy, and there was a big thing, and he said, the next time I will chop off your hand, I'll kill you, don't come and interfere with my thing anymore. And there was a big hot kind of heated thing between the young guy and the person who was doing this stuff. It seemed like it's a business that was handed over by an older gentleman. Something happened with him, and there was a wound that he got on one side of his body. The person who transferred that business, if you know what I mean, because there was some behind the scenes business, and there was a wound that he got on one side of his body. The person who gave that thing, that marijuana. I'm seeing that whole exercise there running. I'm also seeing a dog. I know police dogs, the protective services, they have dogs that are trained in some of these things. I'm seeing a private person with a dog and have similar training for the drug thing and going and checking out and testing out drug for their purpose, a dog. And this is not to put anybody in jail, or this is not for anything. This is just to bring deliverance, but I'm seeing that. I'm seeing them using a dog as part of the exercise. And this is not police. This is somebody who's trained. I'm not sure if anybody had any police training or anything that do it, but I'm seeing the private dog being used in the trail. And somebody has left and moved from a particular area and have gone to Kumoto. They have gone to Kumoto and say, I am going to Kumoto. Is Kumoto? Kumoto is the name? Kumoto? I'm saying that, gone to Kumoto. And say, I visit from time to time. And there's a lady saying, take care, you get killed up there. Take care, you get killed up there. You're seeing what happened to people. I don't know if that lady is here. But I see Kumoto, they've gone to Kumoto. And I'm seeing Kumoto with some other little issue on it. So there might be somebody else here with an issue from Kumoto tonight. And I'm seeing change in vehicles, going with one vehicle changing vehicle, driving vehicle, and being driven in the vehicle. I'm seeing one with 2 ammunition in the trunk of a vehicle, but it's not open in the trunk. It's in the back of the trunk. The trunk is here, and in the whole trunk. And in the back of the trunk, between the trunk and the back seat, there is a place that doesn't look like there is no room. When you knock, okay, the trunk is sealed, but between there is a compartment with 2 ammunition inside there. And that's how the thing is transported. And so in the vehicle, now you don't have to show yourself. You don't have to say, well, who is what, but we can, you know how we deal with these things. But I'm giving you details on it. I'm seeing things put in something like a tire, a wheel, drugs inside a wheel. And the wheel is spinning and the drugs is inside the wheel, the car tire or the vehicle tire. I'm seeing that. And the thing is tumbling and the drugs in there, and I'm seeing it done for a while. A while. Putting the drugs in the wheel, the tires, and getting inside, and it's running. And the drugs in there, then they go, check it out, and this is not done once. It's done repeatedly. So, God will dismantle those things and set them absolutely free. Do we have a Kumar here tonight? Anybody's Kumar? I'm seeing Kumar before me. And it's real strong. Kumar. But that doesn't have anything to do with the drugs. Thing that I'm talking about. Absolutely nothing. That's absolutely nothing to do with the drugs. I'm just saying this. This is some issue, some health or some kind of thing. But I'm seeing Kumar, and there is a Kumar represented here tonight. Some Kumar. Who is Kumar? Or you have a brother, family, sister, but there is a direct Kumar. I'm seeing here tonight, Kumar. And you could let us know who you are, because there is a need in your life, and there is a intervention that the Lord wants. There is a repetition of an attack on Kumar that happened in the family. It happened to somebody and also a friend. And Kumar is being affected with that same kind of problem tonight. And Kumar, Kumar, that is it. And that person is represented closely here or actually here tonight. Kumar. So we need to pray for that person and get intervention. There was some level of spiritual intervention already for Kumar. And we need to do that, because I'm seeing a Saturday, I don't know if it's tomorrow evening or a Saturday evening, but I'm hearing cries over Kumar. Crying, literal crying, somebody crying over Kumar. You know, we called Charles the other day, and this girl didn't come. She was in the cafeteria. And Sunday morning we testify here, and somebody tell her, hey, look, Pastor calling. And she didn't come. And Sunday morning the Lord said, California, and a few places that he called out. And she woke up and she said, Pastor, last Sunday you called out Charles. She said, that's my brother-in-law. I said, well, nothing wrong with him. There's no, and you know, and she just didn't come. She just didn't take prayer. And she said, well, they tell me about it, but I didn't take it. Friday, he was just lying on his bed in California. And his wife and him, they just went to sleep as usual. When she got up in the morning, she alive and he dead. And they can't find out why he died. And the prophecy was saying you have all kind of major lands issue and property issue now. He died on Friday, and by Saturday, major war over property. and we prayed with her here on Sunday morning. So we know I'm seeing a Saturday evening, whether it's tomorrow or whenever, I'm hearing cries over Kumar. So whoever that Kumar is, we need to deal with that tonight. And I'm stressing it because I know what we are talking about. All right? Now, give me the envelope and let us believe God. There's somebody who's hemorrhaging in your stool. And you look at it up to today, that's between like 12 and 2, 12:30, 2:30, somewhere there. And you said, look at this, you know, what is, when this thing will stop, something like that, whoever it is. And God wants to liberate and set you free from that completely. All right, so let's just do this thing quickly. You just hold this up, your seed, and just say after me. Just stand. Just stand. I know it has gone on a little bit because of the thing, but we'll make up for that time. And I want you to see it. All right? And tell somebody, I'm seeing beyond the boundary
and receiving the extraordinary. I'm seeing it and seizing it. It's in my hand. It's in my hand. And just do that. It's in my hand. It's in my hand. It's in my hand. It's in my hand. The city, the royalty. Yes, and God said, I've given you the mighty men as well. I don't think we have touched that one. He said, I've given you the mighty men. He is giving you that which is mighty. That which is mighty. He's giving you all the stronghold, the strong men. So he's giving you the city, royalty, and mighty. All of them there in one verse. And the mighty men. The city, the royalty, and the mighty. Mighty. And mighty blessing, mighty power, mighty grace. All mighty. No small things. Mighty means big. He's giving you big, big stuff. All right? And all the strong. Right. So you just hold it. It's in my hand. And say now, after me, I make my vow and declare. This is the special secret to make the seed become seen in 2019. Birthing the blessing. It's my mystery site that will put everything right with my dearest dreams, desires, health, family, breakthroughs, career, prosperity, and whatever. I see the future in the past. Say, my blessings are in past tense. The Lord has given me all that I see. All right. And you go, and I will have God's greatest at last, because I see the future in the past. I can see beyond the boundary, so I can accomplish the extraordinary. And we go over to the other side like Jesus. I have okay. All right. I have not reached the wall. Right. Oh, yeah. Okay. Good. I was wondering if there was an error there. All right. I have not reached the wall, but, and remember, you see it before, I have not reached the wall, but I see beyond the barrier. I ain't even reached there yet, but I could see beyond it. I have not reached the wall, but I see beyond the blocks. I see beyond the stops. Say, I see beyond the locks. I see beyond the wall. I see beyond all. I have not reached the boundary, but I have passed it already. I ain't even reached there, but I passed it long time. You are ahead. You are ahead. You're ahead in your time. You're ahead in your day. I have not faced the battle yet, but I have won already. It's already, things already better. I have not cleared my debt, but I see myself debt free. Tell somebody, I paid all the bills. I paid all the bills. I paid all the bills. Say, all the bills are paid. All the bills are paid. You see it and see it. See it and shout it. See it and shout it. And see it and secure it. All right. I am not, well, this is not for everybody. Well, some of you might be there, but you know, you want to do it over. All right. Anyway, I am not married yet, but I've had my wedding already, the future, and my family, or for my family. So you see it already. See what you see. See it, I'm telling you. That's really, really serious thing. Serious. See it. And a girl came here morning. She said, she visited sometime, a singer, and she said, that's not very long ago. She said, Pastor Coffee? I said, yes. She said, that suit that you're wearing, she said, what size it is? I said, what, like she's going to buy one for me? She said, it looks like 40, 42. I said, yes, sometimes 40, sometimes 42. She said,
Italian. I said, yeah, she looked like she well know things. She looking sharp and thing. And she said, I want you to pray for me today, but this is the prayer. She said, I'm going to buy a suit like that. I'm going to put it in my closet. And she said, I'm going to tell God to give me a man like that who the suit could fit. She said, I want a man just like you. And I want him fitting in that suit like you. And looking like you, so pray for me for it. I said, what about his pocket, because you're going to pay some tithes here. Serious. And she knows everything. She knows clothes. She knows everything. She said, just so, and I'm going to buy the suit. I didn't see her. I see her, she should get it for yet. Because it could be a little hard, because, to get somebody like this. Oh, Lord, there's only one mole God had. There's only one mole he had. Seriously. But this just come to mind as I said, listen, so you see. Sister Angela used to be with my youth group. We were in youth thing together, and while we were, I was sharing and teaching them and doing stuff with them in the youth. She never used to wear glasses. She started. I said, look down in your document, your thing, workshop, whatever we're doing. She had her head down and she looking so, and she watching up at me, and her eyes got bad, and that's how she started to wear glasses, because she see and she oversee. And she watch it up and she straight and shy. And when she watch up, she get dazzled. So both ways, the eyes get damaged. You see? Say, ask her. She'll tell you. So see all you married people, you know what to do? Okay, Margaret, everything all right? Okay, let's go. All right. My foresight is in hindsight. Everything is all right. What I see, this is what I see in the future is already in the past. I got that thing already, man. I have that thing. I have next one. I have not written the exams yet, but I have passed big already. I see it. I have it. Now all you students, you believe we are activating some spiritual laws here, because it's not by might, it's not by power, but it's by the Spirit of the Lord. And when you believe that thing, it happened. We have Vicky here who dreamed exams before. Jared, when? He here? Oh, he left already because they know he was going to call for money and he has his father's blood. Anyway, yeah. But he was here just now. And he was here a little while ago. Yeah, maybe he ran out for some, whatever. But remember he dreamed his exams? He dreamed what was coming in the exam. And they dreamt, remember you dreamt that more than once? All the thing and break the exams, God divine. They just study the thing at the same time. Once Vicky getting a little struggle, this is just 5 seconds in an examination, and she said, oh my God, like I wouldn't finish this thing. But I'm seeing myself passing anyhow. And she said, at just that point, the air conditioner started to give trouble. The room started to vibrate, things in the room. The lights went off, and they just stopped the exam. And when they stopped the exam, the students started to make noise. Whatever went off, big quality room. And then they said, you know what? Because that happened, we throw you all off. So what we're going to do? How many more minutes they give you? They gave them 10 more minutes give them the time that was due to them, and give them 10 more minutes, the exact time she needed to finish, and came out with a distinction in the examination. I'm telling you, favor, the Lord just turned the whole thing. So you just go with divine laws, and you will see what will happen. A number of times, God just caused these things to happen in a certain way. Don't only trust your academic prowess and your IQ, and those kinds of things. Believe in God's supernatural power, and you will see. So let me go for the children one more time. Sorry about that time. Just hold that clock. Just put your hand up there and hold that clock up there. Just hold the hand, that long and short. Just hold it back, because right now we're seeing something and we ain't seeing that. All right? So the children, just one more quick thing. I have not written the exams yet, but I have passed big already. I see it. I have it. I see the celebration. I want all the adults here today, just give all these children a good hand. Say, you have passed.
You have made it. You have passed. You have made it. You have passed. You have made it. And you pass with class. You pass with class. You pass with class. Pure genius. Pure genius. All right? We're calling that on our people. And next one on the, well, of course, we are your health, your healing. I don't feel, you may not feel it, I don't feel the healing in my body yet, but I have it in full. Let the weak say, I am strong. Let the poor say, I am rich. Let the sick say, I am healed. And then we go on, I see it. I march around it or surround it. Listen, you have to surround that devil. Angels surround you, so you just surround that thing. No matter where that devil comes from, in whatever direction, it's you he had to meet. And no matter what direction he comes from, you are surrounding what you building a hedge of praise, a hedge of power, a hedge of joy. And listen, I shout it, I shout it, I shout it, and shout and say, I have it! I have it! I have it! I seize it! And then we go on with our shouting mode. And the next point, I see my future in past tense. He has given me the city. I see my future in the past. The Lord has given me royalty, the mighty, the city. I take it all from the enemy. I see the Lord has given me all things that pertains to life and godliness. I was healed. I was redeemed. It is well. So devil, go to hell. Come on, give the Lord a good hand. Just move this thing and come with it in your hand tonight. Whatever. And let's flow. You see how last week Friday we flowed again and we constantly flow. Them fellas had home to come home. They went home and sleeping and dreaming and all kinds of things. And said, this is in my hand tonight. I am in charge. Devil, I'll choke every breath out of you. And I have the city in my hand. I have the royalty in my hand. The palace in my hand. You are in the palace tonight because this is called Christ's castle, brother. You're in a castle tonight. You're in the castle of the king. And God told us to do that, the castle of the anointed one, because you put in royalty on people. You have Coffee's castle down there. You have other castles that are building. You'll see. It's a castle thing. So come with it in your hand and let's flow tonight. Those with the tithe, you just come on. The Bible says tithe, first fruit, first thing. And if the first fruit be holy, the whole lump is holy. So those of you coming after, you're receiving blessings as well. All right? See it tonight. Be radical about it and seize it. It's in my hand. See, I've given it into your hand. Into your hand. Into your hand. Into your hand. You have hold of